Flix with the Hicks, where we tell you about the movies. We tell you if they're great or if they really stink. Now it's time to start the show. Yeah, now it's time to go. Guess what? It's Flix with the Hicks.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Flix with the Hicks, where each week we do a review of the best film that we watched on DVD that week and the worst film that we watched on DVD. And this week, Miss Janet got chosen to pick the worst movie of the week, and she picked a doozy. Want to tell them?
Yeah. It's called Caved In. Prehistoric Terror. Okay? Caved In Prehistoric Terror. And it was a terror. It was awful. Okay? These miners are going at a salt mine in like 1948. Okay? Well, something happened, a cave-in, right? And anyway, all that was all shut down. Well, the grandson, supposed grandson, hired a guy that's known for cave tours and getting into all over the world with his wife and his daughter and son. And that's what they do all for his career and everything. They've been doing this for years. And they're getting ready to go on vacation. First time, a real vacation. Well, this guy, the grandson of the original explorer, hires him and needs him right now. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So they put off the vacation and they go with him to go to this cave that the grandfather had, right? Well, anyway, it's all a scandal. It's all a lie, right? But they get into it. It's ridiculous, the graphics and everything. It's giant beetles come out of the holes and attack them, okay?
Rhinoceros beetles.
Yeah. Yeah, they look like regular beetles, just enlarged.
Mm-hmm.
The graphics was terrible. The acting wasn't so good. It's Christopher Atkins that used to be on, what was it?
Dallas, and he was in the Blue Lagoon?
Blue Lagoon, yeah. In Dallas, and a few other things. And the others, I didn't even recognize. Wasn't very good. The daughter, she was real good at like, and you know, the kid was supposed to, anyway, it wasn't good. I tried to look up reviews on this movie. It was so bad they didn't even watch it, okay? I think it might have got around 10% from an audience view. But, I mean, seriously, guys, it came out in 2006. And I didn't even find a budget on it. I mean, this movie, I don't think it was ever really made. I mean, I could have made it from just filming little bugs crawling around on the ground.
Yeah, I don't know that this film ever appeared in movie theaters. But it may have been straight to DVD and, you know, on cable.
Yeah, something like that.
So.
But Caved In, Prehistoric Terror. Yeah. I wouldn't recommend it, you guys. I mean, it's stupid. And they're going after emeralds. And anyway, it was all a scam. People are getting killed. You can see the bugs eating the people, and the blood was like squirting like this. And everything, every time an arm was cut off or somebody's head was cut off, is the same thing.
Yeah,
it is so bad.
This film had the worst special effects of any movie that we've reviewed so far. The beetles in places almost looked like cartoons.
Right.
It must have been shot on a green screen or something. I don't know. But at times it looked like when the beetles would jump towards somebody that they weren't really jumping directly towards them.
And they had lines around their bodies. So you could tell that they were
inserted.
Superimposed on top of the film or something.
Yeah.
I mean.
But yeah, and there was subplots in this movie with the guy that hired Christopher Atkins to take him down into the cave. He had a group of people with him, and but he really just wanted. They were looking for emeralds, and he really just wanted the emeralds for himself. So he had no problem killing the guys that were going down there with him, and then if you're my age, when I was a kid, there was a show on Saturday mornings called Land of the Lost.
Yeah.
And
that's cool.
The special effects in Land of the Lost were every bit as good as this, if not better. And actually, Land of the Lost was more entertaining than this movie.
Yeah. And you know, they go into these rooms, and you could tell there was like sheetrock with plaster on it and stuff. I mean, seriously, like chicken wire with plaster on it for their rooms.
Yeah.
I mean, for the cave. I mean, seriously, you guys, it's bad.
They pulled every trick out of the book in this film. They even, you know, if you ever watched the TV series Lassie, Timmy always falls in the well. Well, Christopher Atkins' son wasn't supposed to be on this spelunking tour, but he fell into the cave. So
I mean, it's like hard to. It was like stupid.
Yeah.
And then running down the trail, and throw the backpack at them.
They've got guns.
No, the bugs are chasing them, remember?
Oh, yeah.
They said, throw the backpack at them. They distract them. Backpack's this big, the bug's like this big, and I'm like...
Yeah, and there was thousands of these bugs. So.
Yeah, right.
So, what would you give your film Caved In Prehistoric Terror?
I'll give it a 15.
Well, that's generous.
Yeah, I'll give it a 15. Just because supporting actors were better than the main characters. But I mean, I'll give it a 15 because of that. Okay. But as far as location and all that, no. The other acting, no. The special effects, no. But 15, I mean, sound quality was good. The coloring and lighting was good. And the supporting actors were better than the actors. Supporting actors, okay.
All right. I will give your film a 9. A 9. Yeah. Yeah, just a little bit below the 10 that you said earlier. It just, I want to give it more because it was fun to laugh at, but that doesn't make it a good movie.
Yeah. So. You had to laugh every time somebody lost an arm or something. And like, you can tell it's like a little squirt gun or a little, like they were squeezing a little pump or something. And it's like one stream. Instead of like splatter or anything, it was a stream every time. Yeah. I mean, it was funny, guys. It was funny to watch.
Okay, so on to our best film of the week.
Oh, yeah. Ta-da!
Magnum Force, which is basically Dirty Harry Part 2. Starred Clint Eastwood, Hal Holbrook, and David Soul. Came out in 1973, and it grossed $40 million at the box office. I'm not sure how much it cost to make. I couldn't find that information out, but $40 million in 1973, that's a lot of money for a film.
Yeah.
So, and no telling how much it's made on VHS and DVDs. But basically...
VHS. Yeah.
Basically, Clint Eastwood plays, once again, Harry Callahan, who is the enforcer cop. He's the guy that takes care of business. And Hal Holbrook plays his captain, or I guess captain or police chief.
Yeah.
And this episode is, you get to see his Magnum again, which is pretty cool. But this episode of the film or series, Harry Callahan is trying to hunt down somebody who is killing bad guys. But, and they are bad guys.
You know, like pimps and, you know, mob type guys and, drug dealers, whatever.
Yeah. But in his investigation, he finds out that the people that are killing the bad guys may be bad police officers. Hal Holbrook is trying to sway him away from that thought that he has that it could be insiders. And he's pushing Harry Callahan, Clint Eastwood, into looking into other bad guys. In fact, at one point he had somebody that he wanted Harry Callahan to arrest in the next 48 hours. So, and as it turns out, maybe the police officers are involved. So it's a wonderful film, very good film. It's a classic 1970s Clint Eastwood film. They always had good lines in them. In this line, in this movie, the famous line is, "Man's got to know his limitations." So you've probably heard that line before if you haven't seen the film. But it really was a good film. I didn't think it was as good as the original Dirty Harry. And there are a few plot holes in it, but it still was a very good film. So, and I love Clint Eastwood. Yeah, Clint Eastwood could be in just about anything, and I like to watch him. I think he's a very interesting person to watch act. So, anyhow, on a scale of 1 to 100, I would give this film, I would give it a 79.
I was thinking 75.
Really?
And I hadn't even said anything. But what's funny about this movie, I like the Clint Eastwood, character. He does this perfectly. Now his partner, Perry, his name was Early on the movie, right? I said, man, I know that face. Oh, I know. I thought he was on Mod Squad way back when. No, but he was on everything else. That's Room 222. Karen Valentine was my favorite, one of my favorite shows. Anyway, he was on a bunch of stuff. Perry Mason, whatever, right? Lots of stuff. That's why I recognize him. But the whole plot, you kind of knew what it was. You knew who the bad guys were going to be and who was going to get involved. The whole movie with, Clinton getting the bad guys and always getting in trouble doing it. That's him.
Yeah.
That's him. Yeah. And always, these girls just want to be with him all the time.
Oh, in fact, there is one portion of this film, one scene where Harry's coming home to his apartment. He lives in an apartment a complex that is multi-leveled, and so you have to walk through hallways to get to your room.
Yeah.
And there's this beautiful Asian lady, young lady, and she sees him and and says something to him, and then he answers her, and then she says, "Oh, you're the policeman upstairs, right?" And so anyways, he said yes, and so she says, "Well, what would a woman have to do to sleep with you?" And Harry looks at her and says, "Did you try knocking on my door?"
Yeah, right.
And of course, 3 minutes later, she's knocking on his door.
Yeah, right. In the film, yeah.
But it's just a fun film to watch.
It is.
It really was. Yeah. And I love that time period that was filmed. I lived in California back then at that time.
I lived in San Francisco area, so I knew where they were.
And San Francisco is just a great backdrop for films.
Yeah, really and always the car chases. You always got one of those, boom, on the hills.
Yep. And if it's an action film in San Francisco, half of those type of films are going to have a scene on Lombardo Street, and this one does.
Yeah. And they did speed it up, but yeah.
But it's a classic film, and well worth watching. Very fun to watch. So
it is. Oh, and I give it. Do I want to watch it 1,000,000 times? Well, I did watch it recently. I just watched it again. So I'll give it like I don't know, 85. Just because
you raised your score from 75 to 85.
Okay, 85. Really?
Okay.
75? Did I say 75?
Yeah.
I said 85.
Okay.
Okay. The only thing that I'd say higher, but you kind of knew who the bad guys were
Mm-hmm.
way into, not that far into the movie. So,
Yeah.
you know, you kind of figured that out.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
I mean, the story is still good.
Yeah, it was.
And Clint Eastwood's always good.
And one of the good things about these old Dirty Harry movies, the action sequences appear very real without using CGI.
Mm-hmm.
So, good film.
Yeah.
Anyhow, we hope you enjoyed this episode of Flix with the Hicks. And you guys have a great day and go out and enjoy a good film.